specialist of the week for the Big Ten Men's Lacrosse Conference. He had 19 saves in a win over UMass a few days ago.
As we are underway here on a Sunday afternoon. Beautiful day for lacrosse, crisp 48 degrees. And the battle you can see already on, and a flag down immediately here as the Blue Jays draw the flag here early.
Yeah, Cole Brams and Logan Callahan getting after it at the faceoff dot. Something to keep an eye on, as Hopkins in their most recent game, a loss to Navy, really struggled at the faceoff dot. Tyler Degnan is left out top, uncontested with time and space, and that's what's going to happen when big number 40 is staring at you in an EMO situation.
Brams wins the face-off cleanly, feeds it ahead to Jones, who takes it in for Rutgers. Blue Jays with the early goal by Degnan, and they lead it here.
At the collegiate level on the wing, and Knobloch gets down the alley and sticks it. We're all tied at 1.
Brams out the front door, looks to drop it back behind him, and does so to Hund. Just like that, Hopkins draws the early goal on the road here, and of course leave it to a guy like Knobloch.
He hasn't caught up to either of those first 2 shots, and just doesn't look like he's seeing the ball very well right now.
Mark, Hopkins played about as good of 15 minutes as you could play last Friday night in the first quarter against Navy. They've got a chance here. Kilrain, left side Degnan, his shot gets deflected, goes out far side.
Underneath from Grimes, gets right on the crease, dunks it past Stoller. Good start for the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays big midi.
8th of the year for Brendan, and we're tied here at 2. Brams plays it backwards, plunging it back to himself, and he'll pick up the ground ball, and Scarlet Knights will move right to left here, and a 2-2 tie. Good start here. Just past 4 minutes gone by here in this first quarter.
Good. Out of the goal mouth. Beautiful short time goal on the shot clock by Dylan Bauer.
8th goal of the season for Dylan.
That's a good sign for Hopkins winning that faceoff. They had lost. And instead, Angeles, from about 40 yards, puts a frozen rope past the Redford freshman goaltender, and Hopkins is up 4-2.
And wins another faceoff. The key there for Angeles, even though he sees Stoller looking away, Angeles still has to put that on.
Stood toe-to-toe with the University of Maryland in a terrific lacrosse game. Great atmosphere. John Paul laid the foundation for that Michigan lacrosse program. Kevin Connery and his staff have taken it to the next level, but really just a taste of what we can expect here in Big Ten lacrosse play. Coach Peter Milliman telling us this week that just didn't execute for large chunks, big stretches of that game. Rutgers, meanwhile, they need to find a way to get better shots on Chase Erlin. Outside, high to low, he's figured that out. Change the level. They don't disrupt the shooting motion of Garrett Degnan, and he pots it.
Mark, you played this game obviously at the highest level. I mean, explain to people how hard it is in this sport playing for this team to score a goal in 39 straight games against the competition that you're playing against when you know you're a focal point of the scouting report.
That thing up about 3 or 4 seconds before it actually happened.
Defender closest to Ayers went to help on Angeles, and Ayers went to an even more open area, and Angeles put it right on his stick, and Hopkins percolating here. 7-2 this first half with
Erlin. Is that the goal? Is that the play that's going to get Rutgers off the deck?
First goal in 24 minutes for the Scarlet Knights as they get back on the board here. A great job out to the far side by Callahan to win it for Hopkins in the final moments of that half with 2 straight goals.
Yeah, we'll see how Hopkins comes out of the locker room, how they respond. Rutgers, though, can they ride that momentum, that energy that was created at the end of the first half with that buzzer beater?
Great ground ball there by Hund. They get it ahead, long pole shot. Erlin off the shins makes the save. Ball down in, who originally had him at the top of the box. He realized that Degnan was relocating. He tried to get back in front, but just a smidge too late. Callahan had a chance to grab that. Couldn't get it. Splain does here for Rutgers. Stoller with Angeles trying to come on from behind to apply pressure. Splain stayed on side so his defenseman could go over.
quicker than a hiccup. Shane Knobloch, great lateral movement, tremendous footwork.
Second of the day for Knobloch, 21st of the season, and Hunt comes up with another ground ball. We're going to get a hold minimum coming up here on Hopkins. There's Callahan. Certainly had a pretty good grip on him.
I like Hunt. I'm impressed with him. That run out where he busted a gut to get the ball down, definitely has a great shooting stroke.
Testament to the Rutgers staff and player development there with Amon ready to come in. And as you ran down some of the legends that have come through here over the past 5 or 6 years, ready to step in and do your part. 4-1 run now by Rutgers.
First of this ball game.
3 points on the day with 2 assists to go along with that goal now.
We got ourselves a game.
Good job there by Brams to come back and pick up that ground ball.
And Hund in particular have played great. And we've got 15 minutes to settle this thing.
It's a 5-1 run by Rutgers over the last 18:28 and 3 goals in the last 9:04 of that third quarter. Blue Jays will have the first opportunity here in the fourth. Good work by McDermott. For that face-off. 44 goals in 25 games for the Blue Jays. It's his first shot of the game. First shot.
You can just tell he's just lacking confidence, and you can't play. This game's hard enough 6-on-6. You can't play it 5-on-6, and if you're not going to be willing to pull the trigger, make a play, you're only going to hurt Johns Hopkins.
The Erlin save was great because Scott Smith was in front of him. The Cardilla used him as a screen perfectly. And that made it even tougher save, I thought. And then Melendez with a great shot again. Now 46 career goals. He had not scored in the last 2 games. He turns his head. He's right in front of him. Turns behind him. Oh, I'm standing right in front of my goalie. Sorry,
man.
Sorry, Chase. My bad. 4th goal of the day for Garrett Degnan. 28 now on the year. For one heck of a lacrosse player and from the same hometown.
Russell Melendez, hopefully for the Johns Hopkins faithful, this is his breakthrough game that gets him back on track. And then when you have those monsters in the midfield, when they come together and play, Hopkins is a very tough out.
4-0 Rutgers. Cardilla's last goal with just over 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, the last Rutgers goal. And the Blue won a predominant amount here in this second half. Blue Jays have only won 2.
Yeah, I think if you're Rutgers, Pete, you got to develop some depth. They've had some injuries. They've had some folks that they're still trying to get some game minutes, get them back to health, but they've run predominantly this first midfield unit, which is a terrific group. But as the weather starts to get warmer, I know this weekend's not a good illustration of that, but as the weather gets warmer, season gets longer, you're going to need some more of that, more depth to make a run to where you want to be.
Smith before disaster strike. More than that, because Rutgers had all the momentum, and that he banged those first 2 goals of this fourth quarter to settle that momentum back for Johns Hopkins.
Yeah, no question. And not only that, it'll give him confidence.
That's a penalty coming up.
I was going to say, I didn't see a flag.
Push
on the
with
near
possession.
side.
Yeah.
The far side's got it. Crew's been busy here today. Mike McCloskey, Jeffrey Hoffman, and Matt Radaball.
McCloskey, their number 65, also longtime basketball referee as well. Kilrain saying, hey,